I want to come here and say thank you to each and every one of you for demonstrating that it's real, that it can happen, that we can do it. Because this Cully is Cully Now, right? Mm-hmm. Cully Now is really about showing how you can strengthen your environment, build your economy, and promote equity. So the bottom line is I want you to stay strong in your resolve with this work. I'm proud of the fact that it's in the kind of communities that I come from. I'm from South Los Angeles, to know that low-income communities of color can participate in this growing economy. You have the most amazing senator that we have in Washington, D.C., Senator Merkely. This is a man who has made a commitment to this project. He has made a commitment to working families and working people. He's made a commitment to sustainable economies. And having just been to Washington, D.C., let me tell you, we need more folks like Senator Merkely, because what we want to happen is a restoration of our economy. We're going to restore our economy, house by house, block by block, neighborhood by neighborhood. This eco district, Senator, is what we're trying to replicate across the United States. It can happen. It's creating jobs. Where are these young women? I am so proud of seeing the Oregon tradeswomen and the women who are actually learning skills, creating careers for themselves, and creating livable communities. Ladies, it doesn't get better than that. That's a career that you want to have. So we can do this, but we need help. You need to help your senator, because I'm just going to end with this sort of message from Washington. We have a lot of this work at risk. A lot of the job training and skills development that's needed to bring ourselves into this new emerging economy is threatened by sequestration. Where'd you guys get that word from? Sequestration. Anyway, Oregon has the potential of losing $6 million in 2013 alone if we don't figure out a more strategic way to balance our budget deficit. It could either go all to defense and nothing for our communities. So job training and skills training programs, which is the core of this kind of project, is at risk, and particularly for Oregon, right? And the women that you see here. But also we've got issues with tax credits for renewable energies, wind tax credits. Oregon is one that has the largest wind farm in the United States, producing 2,000 jobs in this region. And that's due to expire unless they hear from you in Washington. And the senator is the one that supported it. He's supporting it, continues to support it. But we need to support good legislators like him so that we can keep growing the green economy. The last thing I'm going to say to you is this. No matter what the naysayers say, as my son used to say, the fun suckers, he said, Mom, you're such a fun sucker. That the green economy is real. It's as real as the transition from an agricultural economy to industrial economy. The transition from an industrial economy to a suburban economy. How we transition from that suburban economy to a digital economy. We are trending into a green economy. A lot of folks think it's myth. It's not myth. We are here at the vanguard, in the foregrounds of building a new economy for America, the new middle class with good, livable wage jobs that's going to build livable communities. Stick to it. It's wonderful. And I want to say and bring someone I'm very proud of who's carrying the Emerald Cities banner into this collaboration, because none of this happens without collaboration. And that's Casey Bernard, who is our director here, who's going to really talk about the partners in this project, and you can see and hear a little bit more. But thank you for inviting me, and thank you for all that you're doing.
So my name's Casey Bernard. I'm here to represent the Emerald Cities Portland Collaborative, and we have a lot of our partners here today. I just want to thank everybody specifically. I want to thank Verde, Hacienda, and NEA for their leadership in the Cully neighborhood and for really making this park happen. I want to make it clear that Emerald Cities is not responsible for this park, but we are a coalition with many of our members working in Cully and achieving a lot of great work. I'd like to, in addition to those groups, just give a quick shout out to groups like Clean Energy Works, MACG, Oregon Tradeswomen, other groups who have made great strides in Cully over the years. We also have folks from St. Charles Church here. So just a quick shout out to all those folks who make this work possible. And I just want to introduce the Senator. You've been a great friend to all of our labor allies, a great leader on energy efficiency and creating high road jobs for our community members. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, it's a pleasure to see you all, and it's for me, it takes me back about 21 years when I was just down the road at Killingsworth and 15th when I became director of Portland Habitat for Humanity, and we immediately started building coalitions in the neighborhood. 14th Place was known at that point as Crack Alley. Crack Alley changed places over time, but at that moment it was 14th Place, the most difficult street with folks getting off the freeway, getting off Killingsworth, running down 14th Place, buying crack, buying other drugs, getting back on Alberta, getting back on the freeway. And the community had lost its grip on what was happening. People weren't coming out of their homes. And I take you back to all of this, and I'll close the loop in a moment, because what happened there was a magical coalition of partners who came together. Habitat hosted meetings for homeowners. First time they've been out of their homes talking to each other in quite a while. The City Transportation Bureau that Earl Blumenauer, Congressman Bloor, was involved in, agreed to help strategize over or shutting down that street. We started a project down payment, which was an effort to enable people to buy homes for the same amount or less than they were paying in rent, which was enormously empowering for low-income families that were there. And each of these pieces came together with a whole coalition to take something that was in trouble and make it something very positive. Also coming out of that was the first pilot project for Youth Build. And Youth Build, when we completed the pilot and they had built a home, and Habitat provided the construction manager and the site and the funding, and I wrote the grant, and one of the community schools provided the teacher, and the Department of Housing for the city provided assistance, and so on and so forth. There's all these groups coming together. House of Umoja was involved with a counselor. Out of that came the strongest application in the nation to establish a permanent Youth Build project, and Youth Build has now taken and helped hundreds and hundreds of at-risk youth find their way. And so when I hear about a community collaboration like this, I just want to come and celebrate what you're doing. This area out here, this blighted, once gravel mine, I believe, later landfill, if I recall the story behind it, a source of problems that come from landfills like methane and so forth. I'm sure that the families that live in this area could smell the fumes or be impacted by what was happening here. And now, instead of a blighted landfill that's affecting the community in negative ways, we're going to have this spectacular recreation center that's going to be a source of all sorts of positive impacts on the community. And it happened because all of you came together to make it happen. And the other half of the project, the energy retrofits side that you're heading up, that is something that I want to kind of throw in words for as well. You know, the single most powerful bang for the buck in creating jobs are low-cost loans for energy retrofits, because none of the labor can be outsourced overseas, and because virtually none of the materials that go into the retrofits are made overseas. They're all made here in the United States of America, from the pink cotton candy insulation to the caulking to the insulated doors and windows and so on and so forth. And it's frustrated me that Congress hasn't been able to move more quickly in doing more to support energy-saving retrofits as a way to put our construction industry back to work, save energy, make homes more habitable, and so forth. I do want to mention that in the Farm Bill is one piece of the retrofit spectrum, Rural Energy Savings Program, one of the three that I've been working on along with Homestar and Building Star. And so if the House will pass the Farm Bill, well, at least we'll get one piece of that low-cost lending to reinforce the programs that the state has done and some of the stimulus funds have done. So to all of you, congratulations. I know we're going to be back here looking at the ball fields and so forth down the road. This is something that just one group can undertake. Many have to come together with different skills, and along with the transformation of the spot come the transformation of families who now have living wage jobs through the retrofits and through this work and through the whole impact on the community. So well done. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hi, my name is Tony DeFalco. I work for Verde, and I'm the Living Cully Coordinator, and I just want to warmly welcome all of you to Cully Park. We're very excited to have you all out here today, and especially you, Senator Merkely. This is many years' effort on behalf of this community working to bring a park to this neighborhood, to turn a blight of a landfill into an asset. And so, you know, the Living Cully Eco District Initiative is really a way of capitalizing on some of the opportunities here in the neighborhood to bring environmental assets like a park to the neighborhood, but to do it in a way that creates economic opportunity for low-income people and especially people of color to participate in this emerging green economy. Because what we see is an emergence of a green divide where many folks aren't participating in that green economy and aren't earning 15, 20, 30 bucks an hour in their jobs. And what we're doing here at the Cully Park Project and in our Verde Energy Enterprise and with Hacienda as part of the Clara Vista housing redevelopment and with NAYA, Native American Youth and Family Center at their site, is creating pathways for young people to be educated in the things that go on in assets like these, for adults to gain job opportunities, workforce opportunities, to be able to go into progressively higher levels of work. So it's very exciting for us to be able to do this work on behalf of this community. And I just want to quickly thank a few people before we jump into talking about Verde OTI and Verde Energy. So Rebecca Wells-Albers is here from the Oregon Department of Environmental Quality. And you know, the state of Oregon has already put in over $100,000 into a community-based version of assessing the safety of the site. That soil is cleaner than the soil anywhere else in the city of Portland. There's no air contamination coming from that site. And they were willing to do it with us in a way that had the community in the lead, so that it wasn't us coming and saying, hey, it's safe to have a park out there. It was the community members themselves going out and being part of the sampling, understanding what risk assessment was, all of that stuff. That's really hard work by the state of Oregon. We're in a huge debt of gratitude to them. Jason King at the back there from Terra Fluxus, landscape architect. He worked with the students from Scott School, 7th and 8th grade students, primarily kids of color, to design this garden. So not only did they figure out how to work with the budget, build raised beds, do things like build next to a landfill, but they actually got to implement their vision on the ground. So that's very exciting for us. And I think I want to thank the Oregon tradeswomen folks and Connie Ashbrook. Their Building Girls program, as I was alluded to earlier, they built these raised beds. They built this very fancy shed that doesn't collect methane and is ADA accessible. It's the nicest tool shed in any garden in the city of Portland, as is this garden as a whole. It's a beautiful garden. So that's kind of the Living Cully initiative is really a way of concentrating these investments, working with NAYA and Hacienda to leverage our collective abilities to get workforce training dollars all the way toward dollars in the pockets of people that live in this neighborhood to bring these assets to their neighborhood. We think it's one of the best ways we have of preventing displacement of people from this neighborhood as the neighborhood develops. So I just want to introduce Connie real quick, if you want to say a few words about the work on this project.
Well,
thank you very much, Tony, and we are just thrilled to be here with our instructors and students to be part of this project. It means so much to us to partner with Verde and to have the chance to create a legacy in the community, and that is so meaningful for the young women that are having a job training experience with us. They're having their first paid work experience, but it is on a project that they can come back to with their family and friends and say, I did it, I built this, and look at this beautiful park. And they're going to go on to be careers in the trades as carpenters, electricians, laborers, sheet metal workers, and go on to build other projects. And through the collaboration of the Emerald Cities Collaborative, do some high quality energy retrofits of the building stock in our community to further reduce our carbon footprint and really make us, put us on the map as Oregon and continue to be the forefront of the green economy.
Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
So in addition to building parks and working with partners on housing projects, we're also doing energy efficiency retrofits of residential and now small commercial. And Chris Cross is a program manager of the Verde Energy Program, and he's going to say a few words about the Verde Energy Program.
Okay. Well, we've been around for a little over 2 years now and are doing really well. We've got 4 full-time crew members and 3 staff that supervise them and stuff, and a lot of our focus is training these workers to weatherization is not just a slap it on field anymore. It's become technical. There's really an emphasis on doing it right and getting the jobs done, and so we have a lot of a major training component in our work. Our people are trained. We spend 80 hours a year just in ongoing training, in addition to an initial 4 to 6 week training at the start of the program. So we have 4 of our workers. We've had 3 other workers that have gone through our training and are now working for-profit weatherization companies. We're now funding about 80% of our program from our work in the field. So we're becoming less and less reliant on grant funding, and hopefully we'll continue to head in that direction. It's a good program. We do a lot we see the people that we work on in their houses, and we can transform their houses. We take houses that are drafty and hugely expensive, and we just finished a house where the upstairs was almost unlivable. They were trying to make 2 bedrooms up there, and there was no insulation there, and when the sun came out in the summertime it would be 100 in there, and when the sun went down it was whatever the temperature was outside within a couple of hours. So the homeowners are just tickled to death, and we haven't seen what their energy bills. We just finished that about a month ago, but I'm sure it's going to be a huge difference. So we make a difference in the people that work for us. We make a difference in the people that we work for, and I think it's a good program. It's fun.
Thank you.
Redo my house.
So, and one of the pieces we were able to access very early and was Pathways Out of Poverty, workforce training funds. That was part of the era, and that kind of access to training funding through the federal government is really critical, and so we were fortunate to be able to get access to that, and we want to see that kind of training funding be available on a continuing basis, because there are a lot more folks out there that we think we can train. Derek Smith is here from Clean Energy Works. They're putting a lot of money out the door right now to do more of that weatherization work. So now we're going to transition a little bit over to talking about Hacienda and our work with them as a partner on the Living Cully initiative and the housing piece. And what we're going to do is we're actually going to walk over there. So I know you all brought your walking shoes, and we're going to do a little quick walk through the neighborhood. Nathan Teske is here from Hacienda. Catherine Kess is here from Hacienda. So we're going to walk down 72nd Street here. We're going to cross 72nd and take a right onto Killingsworth. And we're going to stop in front of the Wendorf property there. Catherine's going to lead the way. And so we're going to see how we can continue to bring these kind of benefits into the neighborhood and workforce opportunities through an affordable housing project. So any questions about that walking tour? No? Okay, so
Good on the
we're
park?
good? Yeah, we're good on the park.
Okay.
Yeah, so follow
Thank
me.
you.